And welcome back, guys. We are here, TSG and Beardman and Francine. We didn't really make any predictions as such in the pre-game talk there, but we are already sort of into this lobby, and I don't know. I mean, I'm sort of thinking TSG are the underdogs here, Tatman. But are you sort of maybe? I mean, you haven't really seen much of TSG, have you?
No, but I'm always going to root for the underdogs, ladies and gentlemen. So TSG for the win. They're going to take it away 2-0.
10 seconds.
2-0, you reckon?
Yeah, for sure. Absolutely. I've never been more sure of anything in my life.
Right, well, unfortunately, I have to disagree with you there by about 100% there. I think Beardman and Francine might be able to take these two games out. The first game might be a bit of a long one, but I think in the second game, they might be able to pull something out here to close the game. They always seem to do that with their strategies. They always turn around to more early game, and look at that. They banned out the Beastmaster straight away against Beardman and Francine. They know that Beardman and Francine want to play that Beastmaster, whether it be Lord Boons or Godot. They do tend to run the hero in either the offlane or the jungle, don't they?
Yeah, for sure. Beastmaster just such a versatile pick, and we've spoken about this many times, every other game. Beastmaster is a pick, when you pick it at the start of your draft, it doesn't reveal much about it. It's a really versatile pick. Obviously it's going to go on the offlane, but it doesn't necessarily mean you're going for mid-game, early, late, push, because he has great mid-game, and he has great push, but he also scales quite well.
He does.
You can pick up decent items on him. Obviously, that Necro 3, a lot of people prioritize. We see Blink picked up a lot of the time on Beastmaster. Ags act sometimes just for the extra range. And we really see these pro teams utilize it very well.
Well, that's the thing. This and you have a disable through BKB for what, 4 seconds or whatever at level 3? It's I think it's 4 seconds.
3.5, 4.
I think so. I think it is. Yeah. So that's insane, isn't it? Like, the amount of kiting ability you have, especially with a boar slow, it's just insane, and that's one of the reasons why you pick the hero. But yeah,
you know, he's got a great landing stage. He can even jungle from level 1. We saw the advent of that with Iron Talon being introduced, and he jungles very quickly. Even notice that, like, almost as fast, you know, as an Enigma. And Enigma is the standard to set in terms of speed of jungle clearing. And then Phoenix.
Oh,
the Alchemist pick up though.
Oh, well, yeah, I'm not really sure what's going on here. This is unexpected pleasure, I guess. If
One
you're an
of the
fan.
few times that we've seen Alchemist actually get through that first phase. And interesting. They take out the Slaughter. Maybe they might be looking at picking up the Lone Druid, which is still in the pool. I think Slaughter's great counter for Lone Druid. And also Alchemist, who has abysmal stat gain. So Alchemist has 0 armor because he has 0 agi.
Exactly. Oh yeah, and they've actually banned out the... So they've got this sort of Bounty Hunter and Slaughter sort of banned, so no way are you going to be able to sort of... I mean, if Beardman and Francine want to go for some sort of invis hero, they're going to have no worries about it. Maybe they want to run a Clinks or something, potentially, I don't know.
Another thing about Alchemist, similar, a lot of the teams in their first few picks, they'll look up to pick up strong heroes that also don't necessarily reveal a lot about your draft. Alchemist can be paired up with many different heroes as long as they can, and if they have a good Ags, that's just a bonus. Ancient Apparition.
Great pick against Alchemist.
Yeah, stock standard counter pick against Alchemist. The Ice Blast counters Chemical Rage, so he can't heal or regen at all. And Juggernaut just pumps out a lot of damage. I also like Juggernaut because I think Healing Ward is ridiculous. I think Juggernaut, he's got great skills, but I think Healing Ward definitely shines in situations, for example, if you're in a fight and you win the fight, like 5... You wipe them. You completely wipe them, but everyone on your team is on 10% health and your lanes aren't pushed up, right?
Yeah.
You can't do anything. You can't take a tower. With Juggernaut, all of your heroes are on 10% health. You pop the Healing Ward, you're at 100% health. All of a sudden you take 2 towers instead when you couldn't have taken any. I think Juggernaut is absolutely huge for taking Rexes and high ground because he just gives that extra little bit. If you win a fight, he can just create huge amounts of momentum. Win the fight and then Healing Ward everybody back up the full, and then you reset the fight. They have to buy back because you can't contest them, you know, 5 heroes with 100% health again.
Well, yeah, that's one of the really amazing advantages of Healing Ward. Also, the ability to push and sort of sustain the push and a fight as well. Even during the fight, not just after it. The Healing Ward offers so much, and even the Ancient Apparition pick countering a potential armlet pickup for the Alchemist, which is something we see Alchemist pick up quite a lot. If he picks up an armlet against an Ancient Apparition, he's not going to be having a great time, I don't think, in terms of dealing with the Ice Blast.
We got a
Rubik
Rubik
here.
I should have added
Interesting.
Rubik to my 5 heroes that I wanted to see. I almost did,
Hmm.
and I really should have.
The thing is,
I enjoy
yeah,
Rubik.
we don't really ever see Rubik until, like, sort of Rubik has great ultimates he can steal. You know, you don't really pick him until you see what you can steal from the other team, I guess. But he's picked it up. They picked it up here fairly early for Beardman and Francine here, potentially wanting to steal maybe the little Ice Blast here, which could be nice for him potentially. I mean, there's lots of things he can steal.
Yeah, Healing Ward's a great spell. Omni Slash, Ice Blood, all decent spells. Not necessarily game-changing, but if he picks them up, they can provide that little bit of extra utility. I absolutely love Rubik. I think he's such a unique hero, and seeing him played in professionals is always a pleasure. Just seeing how they're stealing and weaving around the fight, blinking, especially when Rubik gets a blink, and if the Dota gods permit, gets an axe, and you can steal every 2 seconds. It's so amazing to watch. I love Rubik. Hopefully we'll see some great plays.
Hopefully. I mean, this is Beardman and Francine playing it, and another cool little thing about Rubik is he's great as like a sort of a defensive support, isn't he? Like, it's kind of like a Lion where someone goes on Alchemist mid, or this is assuming the Alchemist or whoever goes mid, he just sits there and he can sort of lift up the gank. He can literally lift up the gank and just throw it away. And that's a great little thing about it.
Get out of my lane, buddy.
It's kind of like does the same thing as an Earth Spike from Lion, so it's a great little defensive thing there from Rubik. And I mean, I agree with you. I love seeing Rubik played, and we will be seeing him this game, which is great. Void being banned, as well as Doom, so they don't want Rubik to.
Well, that's 3 offlane heroes right there. I mean, we do see sometimes Slardar and Faceless Void being played in the safe lane, but more often than not, they're played in that offlane role.
Yeah.
Targeting, I don't know actually who the offlane player is for TSG, but obviously they feel like they see a weak point and that they can strategize towards that. It is interesting when you ban such strong offlane heroes, because it says to me in the draft that you're going to pick weak safe lane heroes because you're worried about that offlane. So
yeah,
I wonder if they'll pick up something that doesn't necessarily contest the safe lane well, but really excels with that farm. I'm not sure if I can think of a hero off the top of my head that is an example of that. But
yeah. Oh, nice! Shadow Demon. I love seeing Shadow Demon. That's pretty good, actually.
He's not very common.
No. Actually, we did see the Teletubbies. They picked it up actually in the ESL. Oh no, the Manila qualifiers actually. They picked it up in one of their games in the finals there. I don't know if they were successful. I think that may have been one of the games they lost at the end there. But they did pick up the Shadow Demon. So someone's playing Shadow Demon. Purge and the Teletubbies, they play Shadow Demon.
Yeah. I do like the Shadow Demon pick. I'd be interested to see, because I don't see him played that often, so
nah.
It's not something that I'm really used to analyzing as much. I mean, I've seen these other heroes dozens of times, but Shadow Demon, he's a really interesting hero. Obviously, Disruption, I think, great tool against heroes with attack modifiers. We don't have any here, but it does disincentivize them from picking like a hero like Anti-Mage, or even incentivizes Beardman and Francine to pick a hero like Anti-Mage. Disruption, you can just send those illusions on people and just burn all their mana. One thing that I'd just like to say about the Rubik as well is his instant cast point is extremely useful for stopping blink ganks. So for example, Dragonite picks up a blink quite often. I think it's a great item on Dragonite. If you queue up your telekinesis onto a Dragonite and just keep cancelling it, but keep queuing it up and queuing it up, if Dragonite ever blinks in, he'll be immediately lifted because Rubik has an instant cast point. So Rubik, absolutely phenomenal for stopping those types of ganks when someone blinks in, because he can preset it up. I do love the Rubik pick for that, and I think Dragonite, we might not necessarily see him go into a blink because of that, and with the disruption as well. If you blink into an aggressive position and you get disrupted and then demonic purged, you're in a bad way.
Well, another great little thing about the the Shadow Demon here is, of course, he can just kind of handle and kite around this Juggernaut and this Dragon Knight here. It's really nice to have that. And also, another nice little neat thing with Disruption here is Alchemist typically builds the Radiance, so you just disrupt the Alchemist, send around the Radiance, and just burn everyone to the ground. So that's maybe a little cheeky...
12 seconds.
Yeah, cheeky little pocket strat here for Beardman and Francine by the looks of it. And they've actually picked up the Tide Hunter.
Grieval's Greed doesn't apply to illusions anymore, we must remember this, which is why we've seen a little bit of a lack of Alchemist picks recently. There's a Slark ban, because Slark is sneaky, and they don't want two fishes on the same team.
No, Slark is quite sneaky.
I think Witch Doctor's a great pick. Interesting double up with the Voodoo Restoration and the Healing Ward. Obviously, Voodoo Restoration is, you can't, unless you kill the Witch Doctor, you can't stop it in fights. And Death Ward is fantastic. But I love... I see Rubik, I see Shadow Demon and Tide Hunter, and I see a lot of ways for the Witch Doctor to be disrupted, and for perhaps his ultimate to be stolen. So I do like Witch Doctor in general. I just think he's going to have to be extremely careful about his positioning this game.
I mean, he's great against the Alchemist, deals with Alchemist and his sort of his weakness in terms of him not being very tanky until later on, until he gets something like an AC, but or the Armlet even. But I mean, I hope for his sake he doesn't get an Armlet this game. But yeah, you're right. Look at all the things.
Armlet, surely. No. I don't think so.
I mean,
they have get against Ice Blast. It's maybe 1 in 5 fights you get Ice Blasted, right? As an Alchemist, and you can't Armlet. But that one fight you've almost automatically lost because you can't Armlet toggle. You've got 2.5k of just false net worth, and it's taking up an item slot on Alchemist, who is already he's slot starved. He doesn't have enough slots for all his money.
Nah, he doesn't. Yeah, so no, you're right. Oh, I was thinking maybe they might go for something like a Weaver, but you're right about picking. Well, I mean, Weaver's not generally a really weak safe lane, I guess, but Weaver certainly has had better days in terms of that.
Against a Doom. And Faceless Void, actually does kind of okay in a way. It really depends on how the lane dominance is established and who's with the Weaver. Doom obviously can bring out the pain with the Infernal Blade nowadays. Level it up to level 1, does like 100 damage at level 1. You can use that every 16 seconds. Very potent. But I think Weaver can hold his own in a lane. And the Legion Commander picked up.
Ten seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining.
We're in.
Yep. Here we are, and look at this. We've had a pause again, and no surprises. And have we got any items purchased? Hey, we have. Got most of our items here. Legion Commander going for a Fairy Fire here, actually. And look at this, Tapman. We've actually already got the smoke out here from Shadow Demon purchase. Be keen to see if he uses that.
Tyke's already TP'd to the top lane. He's going to set down that ward immediately.
Yeah, pretty standard there. That's going to be nice. He's going to actually potentially block this. Oh, he's blocked the camp on that side there, actually. Nice little spot there. Not going to de-water, I think.
It does provide... I don't know how to actually bring up the spawn camps, but it does provide just that little bit of vision instead of just putting it inside the tree.
Oh, look at this. We've actually had a smoke here from TSG. They're looking for Lord Boons, who's actually playing the Weaver this game. Not something I'm expecting, and they've actually found him here, but can they have anything to deal with him? He's just skilled his Geminate attack, and he does get away. Great little strategy there from Lord Boons. He's actually dropped an item and picked it up. Bit of taunting going on here.
What's he doing there, sneaky?
But yeah, well, it looks like they will actually try and these actually, yes, the old chat coming in here, but I think they are going to try and contest bottom rune here. And look at this, it's just going to be Alchemist getting top rune, no worries. Godot playing the mid Alchemist this game. We are seeing a bit of a change of roles here, aren't we?
Yeah. So we got Lord Boone. He's in the safe lane on the Weaver. Weaver traditionally, I guess you could say traditionally, is an offlane hero. Perhaps they're just on heroes that they're comfortable with. Lord Boone's have just said, look, I'll play Weaver, I can play it in the safe lane, it's a hero I'm comfortable with. It's not the offlane, but it doesn't really matter. It's the hero that matters.
Yeah, and we've got Fish Symbol here, who's actually got a different name in game. He's playing as the Rubik here. Fish Symbol has played for lots of teams in the past, I think, but we are seeing him here tonight on the side of Beardman and Francine. But look at this, we've got the classic dual mid here, with the Shadow Demon. Probably, from my memory, I think Shadow Demon is probably one of the most well-known classic dual mid heroes back in the day. I think he was played a lot in the mid lane. Oh yeah, and Wisp as well.
Yeah. Alchemist is just a hero that you want to make sure that you have farm on. Again, we were talking about momentum a little bit earlier, and Alchemist is one that needs it. He definitely needs that momentum, but once he's got it up, it's very easy to maintain. He can farm stacks, he can farm the Ancients, he can get a lot of gold very quickly, and we do have a couple of Axe carriers this game. In fact, every member of Beardman Francine can carry the Axe, so Godot has a great game. Late game, I fear for TSG.
Yeah, look down bottom here. I think the problem with Legion Commander is every time we've seen Legion Commander picked in whether it be the open ladder or I don't think we've seen. I think we may have seen one Legion Commander here in the Pro League so far, but potentially. But in the open ladder, Legion Commander just didn't have any success. It was just, and it was run in the off lane quite a bit with something like an aggressive tri lane, but generally the Legion Commander struggles a bit in terms of these games here. And look at this, Titan's actually being stunned. Cheeky. He's being stunned by the neutral creeps here. If the cask bounces back to him, he could be in trouble, but it looks like it won't, and he's just gonna run away. Anchor smash. Yeah, he's gonna be fine. He's pretty tanky as well with his ring of protection.
Oh, for sure, and that one level of Kraken Shell.
Yeah.
Did he just use the taunt? I think I just missed it.
Oh, Tidehunter?
Yeah. He used it as a rune earlier. He's being a little bit cheeky.
And it looks like Dragon Knight's going to secure top rune here, no worries. He's actually being stunned up by the Centaur again. He's just contesting
Still a great
this,
trade
no worries.
Him,
yeah. Look at this, they're having a little bit of a trade here in terms of animation cancelling. A little bit cheeky, as we said earlier, but meanwhile, Juggernaut's just getting free last hits. He's actually ahead of everyone here on the board here, Tapman. 15 last hits.
Yeah. We see that happen a lot, actually. Teams just realise that they're going to lose too many resources trying to curtail the enemy's carry. Too much. It's too risky. We can grab an Iron Talon, we can farm the jungle, we can play the slow game, and I feel like Beardman and Francine, they're pretty comfortable playing that slow game. They've got Alchemist, who naturally builds a couple of armor items against the Juggernaut as well as the Legion Commander. They've got decent kite with the Weaver as well as the Shadow Demon, and they've got great late game potential. I do like TSG's lineup. I think Dragonaut's a great hero. Blink on him is especially effective. But it all comes down to, I think, when or if Witch Doctor can get an Axe, and how much this Legion gets in the off. Which she's not doing too bad at the moment. But
yeah, no, you're not wrong. And look at this down bottom here. Legion Commander getting pretty low and actually contesting with the Weaver here, potentially trying to trade last hits, rather, trying to trade her life with the Weaver, but Weaver just getting away there with a Geminate attack.
Yep, I think he realised that he couldn't have got away then, and he just tried to go for the trade, and he almost got there. But yeah, I don't think he could have gotten away then. Maybe a slight chance.
Maybe. We actually missed Tidehunter denying himself to the Ancients here somewhere. Potentially up top. Oh, maybe not. Could have. Probably in. Yeah, it was here. Secured him. He denied himself here. So, potentially for efficiency reasons here. But no, I have to agree. I'm actually really looking forward to seeing this Shadow Demon in this game. I think Shadow Demon is great against this lineup that TSG have. It's just so great at fighting. Even the Legion Commander.
It's just rare. It's just rare. It's always nice to see a rare hero picked in Captain Shaft because you're like, it opens up so many new possibilities and it's entertaining. Yeah, exactly. It's always entertaining. I mean, we interesting. Just looking at the ward, we've got one ward in the safe lane for Beardman and Francine, but the rest of the map is completely dark. Usually, when you pick up the Alchemist, you look to just get those bounty runes because it's so much money. It's an insane amount of money for him. But Dragonite's picked up both bounty runes here. He's got his bottle and he's just pumping out this wave. He's just spamming the Dragon's Breath, getting actually more than the Alchemist in lane with the Shadow Demon around. So Apex Z will be pretty happy with his lane.
Oh yeah, he's been having a fairly good lane here. I mean, look at Alchemist. He's so low. He has to use all his bottle charges to stack in this camp here. He's getting a bit out of that. He's nearly level 6 as well, so he'll be keen to get that. But Dragonite a little bit further ahead here in terms of XP as well. And he'll probably he's just gotten level 6 now, so he's got some kill potential under his belt right now.
Yeah, just seeing the Shadow Demon rotate in mid, just to grab some experience while Alchemist takes that stack, which is going to put him over to level 6, almost certainly, as well as a nice chunk of gold.
Yeah. Oh, look at this, Tatman. Top lane here. This is a great leveling on the Juggernaut. He's level 6. He's actually gone for a kill here on the Tidehunter. It's a great ult. They've used the Chilling Touch as well, and they get the last hit there.
That's
Ancient
a
Apparition.
T1 as well, I think.
Yeah, I mean, they haven't got the healing ward now. No mana until he gets that regen there.
Chilling Touch.
Yeah, the Chilling Touch. Oh, look, it hurts quite a lot. It's hard. You can't deal with it. Even if you are a Tidehunter, it's magical damage.
Yeah.
And, oh, they're going to contest top rune. Actually, nice little play from Shadow Demon, just disrupting and getting the rune.
Nice. I was watching top. I'm like, this T1's going down.
Well, I mean, oh, Legion Commander just got the bounty rune, and it looks like he doesn't have his stun leveled up here. Unstable Concoction not leveled up, so that's just going to be a free rune for Legion. And look, top tower just reported with 24 HP.
Nice, he wants to go in, he wants to deny it.
Oh, and he doesn't. This is a TP though.
Two
from
TPs,
Weaver, been cancelled.
Weaver's he's given up.
He's actually going aggressive onto Legion Commander though. Legion Commander doesn't have level 6. No duel available, if not that you'd want to anyway. And that's a very nice play from Weaver there. Getting a solo kill on the
Don't
Legion.
underestimate
Oh yeah.
Weaver's auto attack damage with a Bloodstone. It's
not
incredible.
At all. Even without it, it hurts a lot as well, especially when you get Aquila. But look at this. Bit of aggression going mid, but that's an ult used for Dragonite. No way you're going to kill him now.
Yep, and they haven't quite realised yet that the Ancients are stacked, but they will now. Fish Symbol's going to ping it out, surely. There he goes.
Yeah, there he goes. Fish Symbol, he was on to that very quick there. There's a nice little D-ward. Really great there that they've actually stacked, they've blocked those Ancients. We talk about this all the time, Tatman. If you block Ancients against heroes that can take stacks, and this includes Alchemist or Tidehunter, it's great. And it denies so much gold, especially when it goes unnoticed in terms of being blocked.
It's, yeah, very crucial in games like this, especially when you have two heroes who can take it. Tide can take it at any time, and Alchemist can make huge use of those Ancient stacks. Tide mostly, sometimes you can get those Ancient stacks, you get a blink from it and you're happy with that, but I think a lot of the time they're just looking to get that Ravage, or at least a few extra levels, just so you can walk into the fight a little bit more nonchalantly.
Exactly. Oh, Tidehunter, he's going to be fine here. Look at this. He just walks up, gets the rune. And that's actually an illusion rune for Alchemist. Not quite the rune he'd like, but it's actually not too bad, I guess.
Godot must be in want of a bounty rune in this game.
He would be.
Legion just stealing that other one right under his nose. Those bounty runes can be incredibly crucial for Alchemist to, keep up or get ahead. And if you don't get them, sometimes it can be pretty bad.
You missed that. That's a killing spree for Lord Boons on the Weaver.
Look how deep Boons is. He's out of control.
They're going to spot him. They do have duel available if they really want to use it. I don't know if... Oh, he actually tried to use duel there. This is dangerous. Ancient Apparition pinging it out, but it's nighttime. It is actually daytime, sorry. They will be able to see him there, but they're TPing in, but not going to get there in time.
And we're seeing more wards come out from Beardman and Friends.
Oh yeah,
We've
that's
got
a great
that
little ward there.
aggressive ward for the Weaver. Boons is... Beardman and Francine have rather recognised that Boons is doing great in his lane, and he can afford to get a bit aggressive. We saw him get the kill on Legion Commander, and then just on the Witch Doctor, and they're taking advantage of that. And I always love a team who can recognise their timings and their advantage in lane, because it's such an advantage over other teams when you know when to push your limits. And it's something that we see a lot of teams not quite know. They may be a little bit too cautious, they don't know exactly where the enemy team is. But I love a team who can push their limits and they know when to push their advantage.
Yeah, and look at this Tatman. Look at this stack here. Nice stack coming in for Beardman and Francine. They'll be keen on taking that soon. And
Yeah, well,
actually,
Shadow Demon actually can take stacks. He hasn't leveled
Oh,
up
yeah.
Shadow Poison this game, but he's also, you know, he can take those stacks alongside the Alchemist. So they do have huge potential. Like, they could stack up every single camp in the jungle, and Tide could take one, Shadow Demon could take
Yeah.
another, Alchemist can take 3 for himself. So they can really make sure that they've got something to fall back on. Not that this laning stage is going awful, because we look at the last hits, Weaver and Alchemist doing very comfortably, but then again, so are Juggernaut and Dragon Knight. But they do have these camps and stacks to fall back on.
Exactly, and you're not
And we
wrong, because
see
Tidehunter is
Tide doing it
currently,
now.
taking these Ancients, and he's having a fairly good time with this. He's got level 3 Kraken Shell and Anchor Smash at 10 minutes. That's exactly what you need to take a stack like this, level 3 of both of those. And
Just gotta be, I think they gotta make sure that they cover this though, like...
they don't have ward, they do have a 1 ward.
Tidehunter notoriously slow, very slow, and there's even a chance that he might not get through this, because the lower ones aren't doing any damage. The only ones that are doing damage are the big ones.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's taking one out specifically now, sacrificing farm efficiency so he can survive.
Yeah, exactly. It's quite painful. He's gone from full HP to 165 here, so a bit tough for him. And Juggernaut's making a stack of his own here. Juggernaut, another hero that's great at taking stacks as well with
Just
the spin.
A little bit less so nowadays with the stacking magic resist auras. We saw that on the Centaur and the Hellbear camps, especially now that the big Centaur camp has 2 little Centaurs, amplifying that magic resist. So spin not as good as it used to be, but Juggernaut, as I say, he's just got his Battle Fury at 11 minutes.
Oh,
so
wow.
Great timing for him.
Not too bad at all. Look at this.
Bot lane.
Lots of TPs coming down bot here. Weaver actually being stunned up here. Disruption being used. And it's actually, nice little defensive disruption here onto the Dragon Knight. And Shadow Demon going to be stunned up here. And he is going to go down there. And Weaver actually going aggressive here. This is 4 heroes to Weaver though. Look at the damage he does to Witch Doctor here. He's going to be really low here. He actually does get away. Juggernaut's going to get called out as well. Legion Commander taking so much damage. Going to heal up a bit here, but it's not going to be enough. They take him down as well. Weaver doing so much damage. Dragon Knight trying to just kill this Juggernaut. Does get him in the end. Weaver going so far, so deep here. Tier 2 tower dropping the Blightstone for some reason. Taking down the Ancient Apparition, and Dragon Knight's the only one alive here. He's so tanky, but do they have the damage? Looks like they won't.
They're not going to dive that.
Oh, wow.
They've got 4 for 1. I think they're quite content. Now, was Lord Boons dropping that Blightstone? Does he have any other attack on
I
don't think so.
I don't, not at this moment, no.
He's just being mean.
I'm not sure why he's doing it. He's just trying it out, you know.
That is unadmirable Dota.
It's a bold strategy, Cotton. We'll see if it pays off for him, but it looks like he did. He is trying it here, and he's potentially. He's just so aggressive on this bot lane here, and mid lane. This is actually a lift on Witch Doctor, and dies to that purge damage there, and it looks like a duel from Legion Commander though. This should be a kill on Shadow Demon. They just need a nuke him, and they do.
They definitely needed that. Legion needs to get on the map with these duels. She is 500 away from her blink. She's 0-3, and it's just won her first duel. Not having the impact that TSG hoped.
Well, that's the issue here, Tapman. We talked about this earlier, how Legion Commander always sort of losing these games in terms of Cyber Gamer, what we've seen. Running in the offlane typically, and this game you can see why, because 48 last hits at 13 minutes. As an offlane hero, that's sort of understandable, but because you are actually 1 last hit ahead of Tidehunter, but at the same time, this is a Legion
Commander. As an offlane hero, to be honest, that's pretty phenomenal. That's fantastic. They're against the Weaver and Shadow Demon, so it's a difficult lane. Not the worst, you know. It's not like a double stun lineup that can kill you anytime you step ahead of the tower. But it is a scary lineup, definitely. And they did kill her once or twice. I think Legion Commander's done very well in this lane to get the amount of last hits. But she needs to get that blink, and then they need to make plays. They need to get that momentum on the Legion Commander, and then go for some more T1s. Try and get that tower gold. Oppress the Alchemist, because at the moment he's just going to ball out of control. He's got Vanguard and Radiance at 14 minutes, which is...
That's quite good. He's actually still ahead of the last hits here, and if we look at net worth, Tapman, he is... this is Godot playing the Alchemist still, and he is a fair bit ahead here. It's quite typical of the Alchemist, but this is not bad farm. In terms of
compare it to the Weaver. Weaver is doing exceptionally well. Juggernaut and DK doing very well as well to keep up with such farmed and almost fed heroes on the Weaver. He's got 5 kills, so he's got a hefty little bounty on his head. So
Yeah,
if
he
they
has.
can take out the Weaver, they can take him out. They can even it up a little bit. I'm not sure how much it'll be worth, but it'll definitely be a lot.
Yeah. Oh, surely, and surely if you get on a hero like Juggernaut, it'll certainly help him quite a lot here. And
Ravage is up and they're looking for kills. They could even take Rosh here. Weaver, absolutely fantastic hero for Rosh. Bugs just taking down his armor. Bite.
Yeah.
Oh, they're going to catch
Especially when
him.
you get that Desolator. Oh, they're smoked up mid here. They are looking for him. Weaver's actually going to lead the charge. I love this play. They go straight into this Ancient Apparition. He does Ice Blast him just in time. Witch Doctor getting caught out as well, and he takes a lot of damage. Double kill for Fishsicle here
stuck in
on
behind.
the Rubik. He's going to be careful. He's tanky, but he's not that tanky. If they spot him out and disable him, that's a nice lift from Rubik here. He's going to just get Dragon Breath as well. That's a nice steal there. They use the Disruption as well.
Fantastic smoke from Beardman and Francine. TSG just getting taken. He did it again. There must be a reason he's dropping his Blightstone. It's not to do with regen, not to do with unique. I'm genuinely mystified. Chat, can you please cure me of my ignorance? I swear.
Hopefully we'll get an interview with Lord Boons at some point or another, so we can ask him this pressing question. It is quite pressing.
It'll probably be very anticlimactic.
Oh, but they've actually got the Lincoln's buff just stopping the cask there as well. It's a great Lincoln's buff here. Legion Commander not in the place she wants to be. He does get the duel, but that's a death on Legion Commander here. Juggernaut has very low. He's going to be careful. He actually gets taken down. Look at the damage from Weaver. Ancient Apparition, he's going to go down quickly as well, and they're going to look for the last hero. Witch Doctor here does go down. The only reason Dragon Knight didn't die is because he was already dead.
Wow. Oh. Incredible fight from Beardman and Friend. And I'd just like to point out, when Tide went on the 2 supports earlier, he had great discipline. Didn't use the Ravage, even though, personally, I would have seen 2 people and then Dragonite off in the Fran. I would have been like, Ravage, straight away, I could get 3 of them, and I would have just used it. But great discipline coming out, and it pays off hugely in the later fight. So I don't know if TSG noticed that he did or didn't use the Ravage, but I think they overstepped it a little bit too aggressive. And walked straight into that, and the fact that he held on to that Ravage ends up paying huge dividends in the form of a 4-man wipe.
Not just that, Tatman, but that Lincoln's buff stopping the cask, that was really quite clutch actually, and it really worked out for him because they were just able to stop that and turn back around. And even with the Ice Blast debuff there, it was still not enough, and so much damage from this Weaver. I mean, how can they stop this damage in... I mean, they need some more farm, I think, to stop that. Because look at Weaver, 8 kills, 6 assists, no deaths, and a Lincoln Sphere with a Desolator very close by.
Yeah, it is a fantastic game for the Weaver here. And just taking a look at the wards for us, we can see, we've both circled it at the same time.
Yeah.
Almost entirely centered around the mid and on the enemy side of the river. I think you'll notice a lot of teams, when they notice that they've got the momentum, start warding more and more aggressively until they're in your jungle farming your creeps 90% of the time. They're making great plays.
They're trying to get Tidehunter, but it looks like it could go the other way around. Oh, they get the duel off on the Tidehunter. He's actually getting pretty low. He's still got the Ice Blast on him as well, but it won't last, I don't think. Oh, he does go down. Great pick off there. Not dual damage though for Legion Commander. Weaver. And look at this, they're not finished. They use the Death Ward here, but look at this. Witch Doctor so low here, they just need a couple more hits on him. One more hit, actually. Godot's going to use his the Unstable Concoction. Juggernaut's got his ultimate here, but will it pass on to the creeps? It won't, because they're all his creeps, and they're going to go after this Weaver. But Weaver is re-engaging here.
And a blink.
He's looking for it. They do take him down.
Oh, brutal.
Oh, that's a blink taker from Rubik.
Steal from the Rubik. Usually, Juggernaut, we see a lot of Juggernauts use Omni Slash. Better get in that fight recap real quickly before I continue my point. 1600 gold for the rating to 300, and the XP swing of 4.6k as well. Absolutely phenomenal.
That's a great
probably
trade.
Going to be a T2 as well. He's doing it again. He's being cheeky. He must be being cheeky.
What is happening? It's like he's testing, you know. Oh, if I use my Lincoln's buff and then drop Lincoln's, will it refresh the cooldown? But unfortunately, no. If anyone's wondering, that's not what happens. Is he going to do it again? I don't know. He will do it eventually.
Yeah. Anyway, so we see a lot of Rubiks. You can't actually steal Omni Slash because as soon as Jug comes out Omni Slash, you spin to avoid it getting stolen. So fantastic pickup there for Fish Symbol, picking up that Omni. And he has a blink to initiate with it as well. So in 55 seconds, he's got a level 2 Omni Slash that he can use to initiate with. And it's a fantastic initiating tool because he's invulnerable for the duration. So you can pair it really well with the Ravage. He doesn't overextend because he can't be hit.
Oh, it's actually really nice that this Rubik pickup's doing work here, Tapman. Nice little sort of maybe some strategy they had to steer. Look at
cancelling their animation.
They were sort of having a bit of a battle here in their own team speak by the looks of it.
I don't think Tide was ever getting that last hit.
No, not with
Although
Desolator
he's gonna
Weaver.
take the camp for his trouble.
Oh, looks like Juggernaut's actually picking up a tome here. Not something we typically like to see, actually. With the cause picking up the tome, unless you really have to. And this game looks like he will use it.
I think he's just gonna trying to edge towards that level 16. Extra 3 slashes. Hopefully, it can make the difference in a fight. The thing is, against the Lincolns, sometimes you can't hold at all. Weaver can backtrack some of the damage. You can disrupt some of the damage. There's a lot of ways that they have to, avoid the Omni Slash damage, avoid a lot of this burst damage. And yes, the Ancient Apparition is preventing the Alchemist from healing up, but it's not the Alchemist that's the issue at the moment. Oh,
look how fast they blew up that Ancient Apparition. It was instant. That was an Omni Slash used from the Rubik here.
Yeah.
That's amazing. That's so much damage. One thing I was going to mention. I can't remember what it was now. Something to do with Weaver. We'll come back to it. I've just forgotten.
I was just about to say that we see this teams like Clockwork, when they see they have advantage, take out all the T2s before you go high ground. Make sure you absolutely maximize that net worth gap. Get the biggest advantage you possibly can, get Rosh, and then you can finally push high ground, because in the last, I think, I want to say 4 to 5 patches, high ground is the scariest that it's ever been. You got comeback gold, it's just incredibly scary to go against that high ground, especially with, you got AA who can zone out a little bit. Death Ward is fantastic, DK can zone you out a little bit with the Breathe Fire.
They've initiated it here. It's a nice stun onto Alchemist. It's going to last a while here, but it's just going to mantle that off. Nice Ravage from Tidehunter. He's really low, though. He has to be careful. And Godot gets taken down. He has got Aegis the Immortal, though. Juggernaut using an ultimate, taking down Rubik. That's a key target you want to get out of the fight, but at the same time, Alchemist, he's back up. He doesn't have ultimate for 15 seconds. Great duel here from Legion, but the disruption coming into play. And that's going to make it so hard. They do get it, though. That's a great fight for TSG, actually.
That was incredible, TSG.
Oh, the damage from Weaver, though. Taking down Legion in 2 hits, pretty much. He's not done. He's going to go for that healing ward. Oh no, they got to be careful because Weaver does have his ultimate still.
My goodness.
He actually takes down the Dragon Knight as well. Witch Doctor dies as well, and this is not looking good for Juggernaut. He's got to be careful because he is so low, and they chase him down here. Get the last.
That was looking so good for TSG. So good, and then they just overstay their welcome by about 2 seconds, and Legion blinks in and just gets thoroughly destroyed.
Yeah. Pretty risky, because, I mean, I think even Beardman Francine, Lord Boons, he was sort of sitting there waiting for it to happen by the looks of it. Potentially, I mean, it was quite unfortunate that he did do it.
What is the duration of the armor debuff on the Swarm?
It is 12, oh no. It's as long as it stays there. It's as long as it stays
I'll just have to look, because I think the reason Legion dropped so quickly then, and I'm not quite sure, is that she had quite a few minus armor from the Swarm there. And that's just huge. When you have a Desolator, when you have Acid Spray, even Anchor Smash is going to do like 400 damage when you're affected by all that negative armor. And it just amplifies all the damage coming out from Beardman Francine. Even the Omni Slash from the Rubik is going to get like a truck.
Exactly, and you're right, I don't know how much they had, but the armor debuff will last as long as the bugs are sort of alive, I think. So I guess either the... Oh, you mean after the bug has died?
After the bug has died, that's what I mean.
Yeah.
Because obviously Legion couldn't have blinked if the bug was on her, because it blocks blink. But I'm not sure how long it lasts. They're going to go something bold here. I like it.
Oh, Shadow Demon. That's the person you want to be dueling, but it's a nice lip from Rubik. Potentially, they do get the last hit there in the end, but they have to use Death Ward for it, just for him.
We've got a kill. We've got extra drill damage. We got what we wanted.
They will back away here, actually. Nice decision. But look at this. Weaver has finished the Daedalus. That's a very scary Weaver. You don't want to be dealing with that. And look how aggressive Lord Boons is. He's actually going to meet himself into the entire enemy team. TSG, but look at this! He takes down the Witch Doctor in 2 hits. That is painful. And he's going to go for the Ancient Apparition as well. He's just running circles around TSG right here. He gets down the Healing Ward as well. And that is not something you want to be happening in your own
counterplay.
base.
There's no counterplay that you can do there when you die that quickly.
No.
I think I do like the Shadow Blade on Dragonite, but I think even against the Rubik, Blink would have been more applicable. There are a couple of times where he just needs to get into the fight. He can't afford to be running in with a Shadow Blade, especially if he can get a Dragon's Tail off onto the Weaver, and then they can kill him. I think.
Yeah.
I do like Shadow Blade. I think Blink might have been a better choice.
Titan's almost denying his arcane boots. They're cancelling the animation just in time. One thing that they need to worry about is still, do they have anything to deal with this Lincoln Sphere on the Weaver? It's still something they got to worry about because Duel's going to get blocked, the Castle's going to get blocked. They don't have a 4-star or anything like that to cancel it?
Cold Feet is the only thing.
Cold Feet, yeah.
Oh, sorry, that's Rubik picking up the 4-star. Cold Feet is the only long-range instant spell that I can think of. You have Dragon's Tail, but you don't want to waste that on Lincolns.
You
have
don't.
Omni Slash, but you don't want to waste that on Lincolns. Yeah,
Ooh.
it's really tough to get rid of that.
Oh, but they got the Lotus Orb, like they have everything to protect
Absolutely.
Weaver.
Just daring them to go on Boons right now.
Exactly, but Boons knows that if they go on him, he has all the damage to deal with everything, including bugs, and including his ultimate.
He's achieved that level where he's actually, now he's quite tanky compared to the TSG team.
And this is what we
he
talked
has
about.
more health than the Dragon Knight, for goodness sake.
Oh yeah, exactly. And this is Dragon Knight we're talking about, but they've actually gone aggressive here. Shadow Demon a little bit out of position. He could get cut out. He does go down here. That's a kill onto the Legion Commander. Dual damage not going the way there of the Legion. And they use the Ravage really aggressively here, right outside the fountain here. They're going to chase him down into their base. GG is the call, but Godot, he's not finished. He goes for a kill on Dragon Knight, so getting the last hit. And that's game 1, going the way of Beardman and Francine.
Yeah. That was very good play from Beardman and Francine. TSG faltered a little bit in the early game. I felt like we saw a glimmer. We saw a glimmer of their potential in the last 5 to 6 minutes. But we'll talk about that in post game, I guess.
Exactly. We'll see you guys there on the stream.